Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Hamlet for episode number 26, where we've moved forward to the end of June, or right at the very end, just selling off our products, which we've done for May as well. And then we need to move forward our fields to be ready to harvest. We had no work to do on our own farm apart from the hay, which I neglected to fertilise the field, so we only got 4 bales of hay off the field. Very, very poor. That was my fault. We probably would have got 2 more if we had done it, but there's no lime on it either, and I wouldn't mind. I have a bunker full of manure. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring you back for this. I've already sold 2 pallets of eggs and some milk already. This trigger seems to be working okay now, which is a good thing, because we did put down the little market to compensate for this not working for the milk. Okay, so there we go. We're going to park that there for a minute. We're going to jump over to this guy who I've left running, of course, wasting diesel. Yeah, we got our first goat milk. We have our wool, so we're going to just sell that. We're not going to hang on to products. We're actually going, the only thing we'll hang on to is grain in the silo. Like realistically, we could hang on to the wool, but not the milk, if you know what I mean, the eggs. They need to be sold at the end of each month, but I just want to get rid of this. What's actually happening is the milk is spawning outside of the actual marked out point for it to spawn. It's spawning in the middle of a roadway. Now, lucky enough, I don't use that roadway, so it's not a problem. But still, I moved the first one only as 47 litres in it by accident, so it wasn't going to fill up again. And then I think there's 760 in the second one, 780 maybe. So we'll get a decent bit of income. We done okay with the contracts in May, but in June we only had 3 now. Is there more there? Let's just check. Oh, hoeing again and stone picking. And we've done loads of hoeing contracts, and I'm kind of, I'm tired of doing hoeing, which is making me want to buy more of the map so I get less hoeing contracts, but then I get less contracts overall. There just seems to be so many of them. I did actually do one this month and a ploughing and cultivation contract. A barley field that was already harvested. I didn't get the contract for that. I was a bit disappointed. But however, let's see what we get here. 6606 plus 500. So we got 7,000. So we're doing quite well. You know, the farmer's pushing on pretty good. With the products we have coming in from the farm, because we got, as I said, 2.5 pallets of eggs sold already, and a full container, which I think is 7,000 litres of milk gone before that one. I was just clearing out what was in the dairy at the farm, or not the dairy, the bulk tank at the farm for the cow shed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just get everything where it needs to be before we move forward into July, because we're going to need to do our own fields, and we don't have a stone picker, so we'd have to take that, so it wouldn't be a great profit. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of doing so many hoeing contracts, which I've done to get up to this point where we can start this episode recording again, so I'll pass on that one. I know it's €1,000 and we have the equipment, but we've already done one this month, and I kind of want to make this episode about getting our own harvest done, because we got our buckwheat, our wheat, our barley, and what's in the other one? Spelt, I think. So we're doing quite okay. Let me just park this up here and we'll see exactly what crops we have. So that's our buckwheat, so that is meant to be ready. Don't go by the bales. I picked the bales up more times by accident. Have an auto load on. Now, yeah, the growth on it is next month. So if we look at our overview, it's not showing up here, our buckwheat, because I don't know why, because that's a meadow field. They don't show up. It's the same with the grass field, doesn't show up. The one we use for the hay. Barley's ready. Yeah, they're all ready next month. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into the... It's always the last one. I'm going to jump into the truck and get it back to the farm. And I'll get set up to get going with our harvests when we move forward to next month. And I'll bring you back in. And let's see how the harvest goes for us this year. We've moved forward to July. I didn't realise I had so much rye left in this. We have 10,000 litres. So we obviously didn't sell it at the peak price, which is long gone. Okay, I suppose we're keeping it for chicken feed for here and for the other farm. Okay, yeah, we've moved forward. Our fields are ready. So it's time to get out there and get harvesting. So we got 2 here. And yeah, look, contracts, of course. There's loads of them. And we'll be able to do all of them. Are willing to do all of them. So yeah, money's gone up. Money's gone up an extra 6,000. We sold excess sheep and goats. That's what we're going to have now anyway. We're going to have excess on the animals and we're going to leave it. It's selling off whatever the new arrivals are. So that's just like you bring lambs to be sold when they're new for the good price they get. Stuff like that. So yeah, we're going to leave that as part of the farm income. It'll mean we're going to get hit for tax, but you know what? We don't mind paying 20% tax when we're making money. Well, we do. We'd like to spend it on stuff that isn't going to be taxed. Now, I limed the hayfield and I put manure on it. That's why the trailer's pointing the other way and it's full. I just decided to get it done before I move forward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get our fields done now. Let's just have a look at the calendar. So we have, as I call this, the back field. We've that field, these 2. Oh, we've 5. Okay. That is not coming up. That's oats. That was probably ready last month, but it wasn't showing on the calendar. Let's have a look. Oats. No, it's only ready this month. Okay, and we got a John there as a demo. 7710. What is she? 160 horsepower. We just took it. We haven't used it. Do we need to? Probably not. But I just took it anyway just to see. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our fields done, get our straw baled up. We're going to do the other contracts which are there. There's a few decent contracts. So our money is rolling in the right direction all the time. We're doing pretty good on the Hamlet. So it'll leave us in a position to buy another field and to expand more and go. Now, apart from buying the pig farm, there's nothing else we're really going to buy on the map other than the pig farm. Well, I say nothing else, I mean other than fields. So we're achieving our goals, which is to make a very sustainable and profitable farm from where we started. Sometimes it feels we're not making progress very fast. It just seems to, when you're doing 9 hoeing contracts in a row off camera to get some money in the bank, it just feels like you're going nowhere quick. But then now we have the animals in the state where they're producing for us now, and I haven't even looked to see that the eggs in the big egg enclosure, hen house, whatever you want to call it, they're still not producing yet. I think they have another month or so to go because we just put the 0-month-old chicks in there. So there's a bit to go before they start producing. So we are getting ourselves in a really, really good place moving forward. Am I looking to expand the farm, as in farmyard? Not really. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, just felt a cough coming on there and I got it just in time. Yeah, I'm not looking to extend the farm any bigger than it is. Might upgrade the equipment. The combine here is 54 hours on it. Might upgrade that. Now, we won't be going big, ultra modern new. Might go for a New Holland or something like that. Something just a little bit newer in the years, but nothing massively big with a much bigger head now. I'm happy enough to to work away with this one, to be honest, is big enough for the fields on the map. I'm more than happy enough. But I just kind of, you feel better as you're moving on and things are starting to improve on the farm for the hours you put in doing the contracts, especially when there's small hoeing contracts on the fields. Now, the other thing I wanted to check as well, like let's see our stock, our time-saving stock check. We have some eggs there, not full paddy yet. We've a little bit of goat milk, a little bit of milk and some wool. So, like, yeah, everything's producing. Now, I know we've only moved on from the very end of last month, so there's not much there. So there will be a substantial enough amount of money at the end of this month. I am still considering buying the pasture over there beyond our cow enclosure and doing all beef in there. That's the other thing too. Did we have new arrivals in there? No, they're all. I don't know whether they're at their peak now, whether I should sell them. Not really. They're not really beef cattle anyway. They're there to produce milk and reproduce. I suppose I could check them out and see what their reproductive rate is, and if it's dropped off, then the next time we have a batch of newbies, we'll have a look then maybe at selling them. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just keep them, because if we sell them off, we got 12. They're worth 1,200, so they're worth about 12 is. Oh, work it out. They're not worth a lot. Not doing that type of maths live. So it's good. It's a good thing when you know you're not going to get the whole of the field into the combine. So everything is going very, very well on the Hamlet, and the contracts alone we have there, they're worth. What have we got? We have our own equipment, so that's a great bonus and all it is for doing them. There's about, I'd say about 12,000, maybe more. Probably about 15,000. And we done crop destruction. No, it actually stopped. Oh, we got lucky there. Very lucky. Right, let's go get our trailer. Yeah, just moving forward, we're kind of in a good spot. That's the best way of looking at it. The next decision is to decide, should we go with the pig farm? You know what, I'm really looking at, we need to branch out and we need to start doing, I know I've done root crops before, but we need to start doing some more root crops. And dealing with having a vegetable crop if we are going to do the pigs of some description. Because we're not going to be making pig food. We're not going to be putting a mixer down to make pig food. So we're not going to have a pig food mixing plant on the map. So we're going to have to feed them their protein, their root crop, everything we possibly can to get the mix right. Generally, that's what we're going to do on this map. We're doing barley here. What's that? That's looks like oats. Maybe it's buckwheat or one of them spelt, because they look like the other crops. There's a little bit of crop damage on that. I drove the truck into coming back from the co-op that time when I done the sell-off. I was looking at what I thought was a weed in the field, or a patch in the field, and I was looking as I was driving past trying to figure out what on earth is that in the middle of my field. And I drove straight into it. Now I managed to stop, but not quick enough, and I just caught the corner of it. Killed about a couple of, what would you call them? I suppose you could call them a couple of plants, and that was it. Nothing major. Anyway, I'll get this one done. I'll bring it back in when we're doing that field. I'll keep you in on a lot of our yield is going up on this. Looking at the yield map there, so we must have got things right. Are we still on the line? We're still on the line. We are, yeah. We must have got things right looking after the field this time anyway, because we're doing okay. It's gone a darker shade of green, so that means the yield is higher. And yeah, I will keep you well updated on our harvest this time. Good yield on the Spelt as well, 124%. This field is all, I think it's all loam. I think we've done really well on this the whole time. So the yield candle has not changed at all, it's still the same. If I clear it, it'll just come back at whatever the yield is. Now the yield could actually be less, but it's never going to go back to a lower colour, if you know what I mean. It's only going to show you whatever the colour is. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get these done, and I'm going to use that John Deere to bale them. The demo, might as well, like giving it to use. Now, the other thing, our buckwheat. Okay, our buckwheat. Now, you were here with me. It said 3 out of 4. But that is not shown ready to harvest yet. Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get these done. There's no point in jumping over there. I just want to keep continuing on with what we're doing. And yeah, we're going to be pretty good on everything. Barley, we got 12,512 litres. That's in the silo. What I'll do is I'll get them done. I'll put them in the silo. And like, why was our canola not ready? I probably sowed it a month later, as opposed to sowing it in when you get the canola, you can go in a month earlier. But I think I was probably late. I think I only got the field or something like that. That's why. Okay. Yeah, really pleased, as I said, the way everything is going. Kind of been very lucky. Even crop destruction wise, we haven't had any real problems. And yeah, we'll have quite a bit of money coming in from these crops. We'll have to end up having to pay tax too, but we can get away around that by buying another piece of equipment or something like that. But it's telling us we have a loss outstanding, which I presume, did we make a loss last year? I didn't think so. Hold on, let's just check that, because maybe that was telling us what we had at the time. We don't have a footnote anymore. So we don't have a loss now, because we've actually more income than we had expenses. Okay. And we've 13,000 in tax due in September. So I don't get too comfortable with what's in the bank. I never do on this series. It wasn't about having an easy life, and thankfully it's worked out that way. And I think, yeah, right decision was made along the way. No productions, whatever about productions, from the point of view of, if I have the pasture down there and I've 30, say I've 50 Highland cattle in it, and I keep them for whatever it takes, 2.5 years, 3 years for them to mature, and then I sell the beef cattle once they've reproduced, and I make a load of money, because you do make it out of it. That's different, because you've had to put the effort in. But I feel sometimes with the productions, it's okay, you have to put the effort in of buying it, but that's all you do. You buy the production, then it makes you loads of money. And some of them are, like, as we all know, some of them are overpowered. So at least with the cattle, you're producing their food, you're taking care of them the whole way through, and then you end up having to sell them in the end. So, what are we on? 75%? Yeah, probably won't get to the end of this row. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to jump out, I'm going to get the international over, and I'm going to empty it before I go. too far down the field. And by doing this now, I'll probably get the rest of this field into the combine without having to stop again. Contract still the same. No extra ones. There's another one. Yeah, there's either the rye one. I think there's an extra rye contract, so we can't complain with that. We'll take that. Pipe in and let's go. And I'll bring you back in when we're down at the canola field. I'm going to save the rest of the totals until we have them all in the silo, and we'll have a look at them together instead of doing them one at a time. Let's see what this harvest brings us in. We'll look at the time saving stock check as well, see what value it's put on it. Okay, so we're on field number 5. We have our barley, spelt, canola. We're on our wheat, and then we have our oats over there. I'm just wondering what the story is in our buckwheat, that's all, because it said 3 or 4 at the end of last month. Maybe when I move further into the month, maybe it'll be ripe then. I don't know. Ready to harvest. So yeah, we're going to have, what I'm going to do, since we got the demo, I'm going to stick the baler on that and give it a go. We're going to use it. Now, the other thing I didn't realise, and this is what happens when you get a new update to the mod and you go and you actually read back over the changelogs from the previous ones. Into schemes, into tractor demo. When you click action, it gives you the option to buy it at a discounted price at 49,924. Now, I don't know. That'll still be there. I was a bit afraid when I clicked out of it last time that wouldn't be there. I don't know how much the tractor is brand new. There's less than 10 hours or about 10 hours on, so it is low on hours, but we actually don't need it. It's very similar. It's done by the same modder for the one we had before, which was a different model. Maybe it's just the same tractor, but when you up the engine, you get a different number coming up on it. That could be it. I think it was a 7810 or something like that we had. The one we got rid of that I wanted to keep, but then I discovered that it wasn't exactly what I wanted, and that's why we ended up with the IH tractor we have. Now, granted, the IH tractor we have is plenty to do everything we needed to do. It just, the loader doesn't touch the ground, that's the only thing. And we can only put the Case IH loader on it. Now, I did mean to go and check and see is there other Case IH loader mods, and load maybe one of them up and see does it change with that. Could it just be the frame itself, that the loader itself and the frame it's on, that they're just not matched up, that there could actually be another one that would actually work better with it. So we'll give that a go and we'll try it and see. I'll see is there anything out there just so we can have a loader that touches the ground. It's not a problem because we're only transporting bales. We gotten lazy. We're not filling buckets of manure and putting them in the trailer. And I'm going to use the excuse that's why, because we can't reach the ground. We weren't doing it because we'd actually got rid of the tractor, and it turned out the quickie loader wouldn't fit on the Case loader, and we only replaced it in one of the recent episodes. So nearly through with this field. There is one load, almost a full load, gone into the trailer already. So I'll get this unloaded and I'll get it in the silo. And like I said, we'll have a look when I get them all harvested, what we have in the silo for all the grains we've harvested, just to see how much we got off the fields. So quite happy. You can see the yield map here is going greener. You can see this last strip now will start to go green, which means that the yield is better than we got off this field the last time, which means we've done something different that turned out to be better for the crops. Alright, time to get the oats done. Just brought it over and parked it here while I went and delivered it. Wheat up to the silo. Yeah, I don't know, is there anything we can do to get this field to actually start coming up in the field overview? I don't know whether to take them all out and put it back in again, or I don't know. I don't have that problem with a grass meadow type field on any other map, although there's only one other map I done on once, but it would have been classed as a field. Just had meadow grass in it, that's all. But no, it just doesn't show. The same with the buckwheat field, it doesn't show either. There's where I drove into it as well. Not very good at this driving, Lark. Driving that truck, it's like it gets a fishtail on if you go. That's why I have it set to, I think it's 62 kilometres an hour. Because it's like if you go a little bit over it, it's with the controller, when you try to correct your overcorrection, it just fishtails one way, the other way, and you're trying to just ease off the accelerator and slow it down, but it doesn't work. You kind of need to throw the anchors out and hammer on the brakes. Now, here's a bit of our field we didn't plough in the last time because we were going to put a production there. Remember that? When we lost our way and thought we need a production on this map, which originally I said I wasn't putting in. So there'll probably be 100 litres in that. Not even that. Our curve is not going to be a curve for the combine, I guarantee you. No. Yeah, I have a dilemma. The dilemma is we need to get direct drill. It'll stop us ploughing the fields because we can't do anything unless we plough them and cultivate them, which means then we have to stone pick them. So do we go and try and upgrade our seeder to get a direct drill? I think it's probably the logical thing to do. Now, in the second-hand market, of course, there is a stone picker for 26,000, but 26,000 is a lot of money when you consider it costs about 3,000 to get the stone picker to lease, or maybe a bit less. And you get it and you use it for all your fields in one go. And look at the Barley trailer, we don't even need that. Like, we don't need any more than we have. Yeah, like, let's see. I don't even think I have the large stone picker in here. I haven't, no, I've only got the small one. So, like, leasing that is, yeah, just under 3,000. Then you got your hourly costs and your day and that. But I tend to combine it with a contract as well and get the money back out of the contract. But we're going to have all of these fields to plough and stone pick unless we buy a direct drill. Now, can we put 24,000 along with our existing Great Plains seeder and get a direct drill? That'll eliminate that need. The other thing is, do we want to? Do we turn off fieldstone so I can use a cultivator? Nah, we're going to leave the fieldstone on. But I never realised we have enough. I was going to say, look, we're running low on diesel, but we're going to have contracts to do after this. So the only place we can get diesel is back in the yard. There's nowhere else on the map to buy it. I don't think you can buy it at the co-op or anything like that. So the dilemma is, in that sense, do we try buy a direct drill, go that route? It'll eliminate it'll modernise the farm from the point of view that we'll have a direct drill. And that'll increase our yield, or not our yield, our bonus for environmental score, which I don't really care about. The other thing is, if we do get a direct drill and we go that route, okay, we're cutting out cultivation and stone picking and that and ploughing, but we're going to have to buy a sprayer then, because we're definitely going to have weeds. So it's something to think about going forward before I do it. Now that stone picker will remain there for a while. It's a good bit down the list. So we kind of can rack our brains about it while we're doing this and decide before we move the end of the month whether we want to do that or whether we want to get a direct drill out. Let me just pull up here on the line. We just check. There's no direct drills in the second-hand market, as far as I know. I haven't been looking, so I could easily skip by them. I actually want to buy one of these as well, because I did use one of these on Cibacoa for quite a bit, and I love the sound out of it. I know the gearbox is a bit pain, but depends on what jobs you're doing. Now, direct drill. Like this sprayer there, way too big. We only need the Hardy's, very small sprayer, not even the Hardy, something smaller. Anything else there? No. That's cheap enough, but we don't need a trail sprayer. It's actually quite a good price. But no, we don't need it. Then we're going to need the stone picker. We're going, you know, one thing leads to another. Now direct drills there. So if we go and we look at planters, direct drills, like the Unai, or whatever it is 3 meters. The one we've used quite a bit is this one, the 4 meter one. The next step up from that goes, like money wise, it's not that big a difference, but it is wider. And it holds fertilizer as well. So it is something worth considering. I don't know what our seeder is worth. Let's get an indication now. Which said 29,000. So we're still short. Like we're looking at, okay, when you bring it to the dealership, you get a bit more. So we're kind of looking at, if we're to go with the likes of this. Yeah, we're looking at like 30,000. Maybe later on down the road. Maybe we'll just painfully continue to give ourselves work to do on the map. I actually don't mind doing the prep work on our own fields. So I actually expected a higher yield off this field. There you go. I thought the thing would have been full at the end of one headland. It was not. But still, it's a bonus. It's a new field. It's a crop we weren't expecting to have. And we do now. So, right, I'll get this done and give you an update. Then we'll, once we have it in the silo, exactly what we got. Combine back and refuel, 250 quid a cost. So we have to do a repair on it. Haven't done. Although it was probably only needed at 12 for the header. Can handle that. Trailer doesn't need it. Combine 64. That's alright. We can handle that. I do it every time I finish using it because then it doesn't melt up. Right. Did I bring back the grain? I didn't bring back the grain. I thought I brought the grain back. I walked away from the computer for 20 minutes to have my dinner. So we have, there you go, oats. 10,704 litres of oats. Now the natural thing when I'm doing this sort of stuff is, where's the grain mill? Let's make flour. Just getting used to it on this one now to not have that option. Because we're not producing flour, so there you go. We're not selling. There you go, I knew it was going to come up. So let's see what we got. And then I'm going to grab that John Deere and I'm going to go and start baling. We have a lot of baling to do, but what I'm going to do too, I'm going to see what contracts they're there and we'll actually accept them. Now, let that tip in and let's have a look at the contracts. Oh, we're doing quite well. Right, we're going to do all the harvest ones anyway. And we definitely do the cultivation. Baling, and they're both square. Now, stone pick is the only one we didn't choose. That doesn't mean we're not going to do it. Right, let's see. Any eggs? There's one tray. Right, what have we got? Okay, barley, 12,500. Canola, 12,000 just over. Oats, 10,000. Rye, 10,000. Spelt was the best. Now that rye was already there, so Spelt was by far the best out of all of those fields. And wheat. Now, the Spelt field, was it that much bigger? That's the one that was the Spelt field. So total field size in that is 2.48. The field size on 11, that was canola. That's going to be, yeah. Okay, the Spelt field was bigger. This probably won't give an accurate field size. So, okay, it is the biggest field. So, naturally enough, you would expect it then to give the best yield. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this thing fired up. We're going to bring it back. We're going to get the baler loaded up. I'm going to bale up our own fields first. The next problem I have is that the trailer doesn't hold a lot of straw bales. So, is this the same tractor? I think it more or less is. See how it performs. It's a nice tractor. No beacons. No, nothing on it. It's just basic. Same modder, SL modding. That's the one I had early on in this series and I sold. We're going to have a John Deere baler on the John Deere tractor. Oh, I looked away for a second. I literally glanced away for a second at something sitting on my desk. It's my excuse, and I can't edit that out. Not that I would. We have twine, we have everything in it. I presume this is going to be, it's not, the gear shift on it, you can see them changing, so it's going to be a little bit messy in comparison to the case, but I'm going to use it anyway. Now we need to reset our counter. Let's see. Make sure it's reset 0. Yeah. Reset our bale counter and let it down. Start it up. And yeah, it's going to struggle a bit more than our case does with the baler. And it was the same with the other tractor, which is why we swapped out. It'll struggle big time coming back up the hill. But it's a demo. It's 10 hours on it. It's ours to try out. They're paying for the diesel. We'll give it a shot anyway. We'll do our own straw bales. We'll get them off the field or get them baled up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bale up all our straw. I'm not going to take it off the field. I'll get it baled up and get a count on how many straw bales we have, so we have some sort of an idea. And I'm going to call the episode then once we have that done, because there's a lot of work there lined up with the contracts, and like considering we've harvest contracts there as well as baling contracts and that. Now probably we'll switch back to the case once these fields are done, to do the contracts, do the baling contracts, because it is okay, but you can see the way it struggles. Now the case would just turn that corner and go. We wouldn't have that issue, and that's exactly why I think this tractor is the same as the other one, just a different engine, which gives it a different number. But it'll run the baler, it'll do for what we're doing for now. And yeah, we'll make use of it might as well, since we have it for a demo, might as well make use of it. So I'll bring you back when all the fields are baled up. We do a count and see how many straw bales we have. I know already we're going to have too many, so we will have straw bales we could sell at the top of the market, which will be in January. And that'll help us push on through. By the time these contracts are finished, we're going to have over 60 grand anyway. We'll have a little bit more grain in the silo as well, because I'll use the grain door when I'm tipping, so that I can stop it in time and hang on to whatever we can. And yeah, happy days. We're in harvest time, my happy time of the year. I can't say that without being a bit, how would you call, I enjoy other times of the year on the farm as well. I suppose it's just the progress when you're doing the lights of this and you're getting the straw off the field. You can see it clearing and becoming empty and the bales dropping. But there again, when you're ploughing the field and you see the plough pattern or any other pattern coming behind you, it's the same thing. I just enjoy all aspects of it. So for now, let me get this baling done. I'll bring you back and give you a count of what we have. I might even bring some of the bales in. I just know it's a small trailer that's up in the other farm we need. Our grain trailer does not convert into a bale trailer, and it just means it'll be a little bit of a slow process getting them all in off the fields. It's been a real struggle in the uphill bits on this, but we're getting there. We're on the last bit now. Haven't checked to see how many bales we have. So what I'm going to finish up this. There's a bit down here. There's a little bit off to the left as well. But that's it. There's not many bales in this field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's in the baler? Probably 6 in total on this field. There are 2 baling contracts right beside us. So we're going to go and do them. Or we're going to spit our bales out before we do. Because we're going to end up losing our 700 or 4,577 litres if we don't. Now, okay. Right, up. And let's get these out. Let's see what we got. We're not going to need much straw at all, so let's see. Okay, big reveal. Many bales. I wasn't really keeping track, so 31, that's not bad. Like, by comparison with what we had, that's probably more than double. It won't give us the totals, will it? It is giving us the totals, yeah. It's not worth a lot. Well, it's worth 29,000. It's not worth a lot, he says. I'm thinking straw's not worth a lot usually, but when you have no money, it is worth a lot. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this tractor and the baler since it's here. When I seen the 2 fields beside me, I just decided, right, I'm not going to swap to the case yet. I'm going to start to work my way through these contracts. I think we're okay with the weather, so yeah, I'm going to do these and then I'm going to get the combine over and get it out to the fields that I need to go to. Look at that bale standing up. Let's see, where are we going anyway? So we have 1 up there and then the rest are kind of close by. These 2 will be gone and they're pretty close. Apart from that one, they're all pretty close to the delivery point. So the delivery point will be the co-op anyway. So what I'm going to do, guys, we're not picking up any straw because you never dropped the pickup, you clown. Go back and start again. Right, let's get this on the way down. Oh, that's what happens when I'm talking. I'm distracted. I'm not paying attention. That's my excuse. That's why I crash a lot when you're with me when I'm recording. I'm not saying I don't crash when I'm not on camera, but I don't crash as much. Anyway, yeah. Episode number 26 on the Hamlet. We're done. We got our fields harvested, all bar. Let's just jump over to that buckwheat and just see what's going on over here. Here we go. Yeah, it's still showing 3 or 4. That's what we were on. So I honestly don't know. It's on the earlier clips on this video where we did actually visit that field when we were up there and had a look at it before we moved forward at the very start. So we were in June, we're in July now, we still have the same. Hopefully it's not a problem. It's going to go harvest ready next month. Now, yeah, as I said, episode number 26 on the Hamlet, we're done. It's been a very productive, very busy episode. Thankfully, no hoeing contracts because they really have become a little bit tedious. And unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be for another while anyway. Anyway, with 44,000 in the bank, we're going to have plenty of money from these contracts. Just on the stock check, it's telling us we have 110 at the peak. Now, you need to take out of that the likes of seed and stuff like that to show fertiliser, stuff we're never going to sell, our hay and that. So I'm kind of running my eye down them, and I wish I hadn't, because then we don't have 110. Well, I wasn't expecting to have 110 anyway. We've a good 50,000 plus in the silo. So happy enough with that moving forward, that we have plenty there for the future. Okay, we're going to have to pay tax on our income, and we're adding to it by doing these contracts and everything else. So it's going to loop around and get that and just do that line. See, it's just really slow. Once you give it a bit of a hill, it doesn't look like it, but when you come down here, it is. Yeah, 26 in the bag from the Hamlet. I'll pick up when I start doing the next episode, which will be episode 27. I'm going to pick up on the contracts, probably doing the harvesting contracts on this, and we'll take it from there, because we're going to have field preps going on as well. I'll decide on that. I think I've already decided on the direct drill or not. I'll let you know in the next episode. I've made my mind up. But there'll be probably using a worker to do a little bit of work on the fields when we come back for the next episode. But for now, from the Hamlet, episode 26, thanks a million for joining me again. And I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you stick with it. It's going to be 2 days a week. On the weekends, we're going to have the Hamlet on Saturday and Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. British summertime, as is the time zone we run with in Ireland at this time of the year. So 10 a.m. BST, Saturday and Sunday, the Hamlet. For now, into the future. How many episodes we're going to have in this series, I don't know. Let me just say, I have a sneaky feeling that we've just passed the halfway point. So, episode number 26. So, with that, it's goodbye from me. Until the next time, from the Hamlet. Bye bye.